How's it going, Jonah?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. So, this is our first little devlog. I was wondering if you want to kind of introduce yourself and introduce what you do at Synchrosoft.
Yeah, my name is Jonah Larsen, and I am on the sound effects team slash music team, but mostly just doing sound effects.
So, we've all been working on a game called Car Goes to Hell, the musical. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how you got on the team in the first place?
Yeah, I messaged one of my friends from college, Kiana, and
Mhm.
was just like, "Hey, I know that you do some game design stuff. Like, I'd love to get involved." And she's like, "Perfect. I have a friend who's looking for a sound designer." So it was kind of like a perfect timing. I was at University of Illinois, and then I've since moved to St. Louis, and then I just moved out of St. Louis, and for the summer I'm back with my parents in Columbia, Missouri, and then I'm moving to California in August. So I guess I will be pretty far
Yeah.
pretty soon.
I kind of want to delve into what you've been working on recently. You said you're on the sound design team, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of want to pick your brain on your expertise, kind of show your workflow of exactly what you're doing without revealing too much.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't think there's too much that I could even reveal because we're pretty early. It's mostly brainstorming at this point. I've been I guess like a couple weeks ago, went into my car and just fiddled around with, turn signals, windshield wipers, like revving the engine, and I recorded all that just to kind of have some reference stuff that may or may not even be in the game. But that's kind of where we're at is just kind of getting, especially before we kind of know the true like identity of what the game is going to be. We're kind of just doing stuff to do stuff and start getting our hands dirty a little bit. I've also been researching the beeps on modern car infotainment screens. Since car is like new and improved, he's now got a modern
Ooh.
infotainment screen. So I need to figure out how to make a good beep sound for like when you're going into the menus. So that's kind of been my like task this week.
You were kind of talking about like foley sounds. What do you think your workflow usually is for like collecting foley sounds? Is it just kind of
Workflow.
experimenting, just going around?
Yeah, it really is. It's like a portable handheld recorder and it picks up great audio. So, really like when I do sound stuff like on my own, like my bread and butter is just like environmental field recording. So,
Mm.
like just going out into random park and just recording, which often just turns into recording birds because that's oftentimes what there is. So this has been nice to try and I guess get a little more focused where it's like I need this specific sound and then you really become aware of how loud everything else is like when you're trying to just get the door closing of a car
Yeah.
and you close the door and then like a can that you have in the passenger seat cup holder starts rattling or like I wear these necklaces and they start jangling together like it's really hard to like really isolate sounds so that's been a unique challenge that I knew I would have to work through, and I feel like I'm starting to get there. But it's definitely annoying when you feel like you've gotten some good stuff and you go back and listen to it, and like you hear yourself breathing, or
Yeah.
like you hear your foot hit the brake pedal or something weird like that.
I've never thought about how difficult it would be to like record in an open space, especially if you're trying to like isolate a single sound versus just like environmental sounds.
Yes. This recording I've done was inside my car, so it's a good bit more controlled. Like I was in a garage and I was in my car, so I just turned, obviously music off. I turned the air off and that got pretty quiet, but I'm trying to figure out how I can get some good like engine revving sounds from the
Yeah.
outside of the car. But that's difficult because there's wind and then there's birds and there's like especially now there's lawnmowers and
Yeah.
it's difficult.
Yeah. Especially if you're one person too. Like if you don't have a couple people, like how do you get a sound outside of the
Yeah.
car?
Yeah.
I also kind of want to ask like about your job slash personal history. I see you do kind of have like a sound design background. Was it sound engineer you were at one point or still are?
Yeah, I got 2 degrees in music So I play bass and, I gig around where I can. I do a lot of musical theater stuff because those gigs tend to be pretty steady and they're longer gigs, which means that they're more stable and they pay
Yeah.
better. And then like my day job up until I moved out of St. Louis last month was an audio technician at like a live production company. So they would have a lot of tours that we would provide the audio gear for. So like, it could be microphones or consoles or the PA system. And then I also do freelance like audio for sports broadcasts. So the past like 2 years, I've been freelancing with Mizzou and doing a lot of audio for like their football games and basketball and women's soccer. So definitely, I'm pretty immersed in the music and sound world.
So you do a lot of freelance. I know
Yeah.
there are probably a lot of people who want to get into freelance too. What would be your kind of advice to them? Like, what would be the step by step? How do you creep into the freelance landscape?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out because I'm not like full-time freelance yet. Although when I move out to California, I'm gonna, I think, go ahead first and try and see if I can pull off full-time freelance. But I guess for like starting, it helps to have a day job and then like start out small with like just doing a couple gigs and whatever you want to do, whether that's playing or mixing live bands or doing sports, just like doing a couple and then like as you start to get more gigs and your workload on those fronts starts to increase, you can kind of see where you can maybe decrease and like go down to part-time at a day job or, maybe even quit fully.
It sounds like you kind of just got to jump into it eventually. That's what it sounds like you're kind of
Yes.
doing. It's like there will never be full 100% confidence that it'll work. So you just kind
No,
of have
no,
to do
yeah.
it.
Yeah, there's no job security. But
Yeah.
especially like while I'm young enough that like I don't have too many financial burdens and like I kind of can
Yeah.
try this freelance thing and if it crashes and burns, it's not like the end of the world. I feel like the earlier you can do it, probably the better success you'll have and the better I guess decision it will be because if you find out it don't work, you can kind of pick up the pieces easier.
How do you think you kind of found that you could afford California?
Oh, we'll
Yeah.
see when I move out there in August. But my girlfriend is starting a PhD program out at UC Berkeley, so that's why we're moving. And the stipend that she's getting is enough for her to live on. And then I've been in talks with, more people for sports audio, like out in the Bay Area, and the day rates that I've kind of been quoted seem
Mm.
like if I can get enough work that it will be enough to sustain myself. We'll see.
Yeah. Move out to one of those creative areas where it's like you're just
Yes.
surrounded by a ton of creative people. I feel like you
Yes.
don't get as much of that in Wisconsin.
Yeah, and I feel like especially in places like Chicago or those big cities where there are a lot of creative types who are freelancing, like it's definitely difficult, but it is nice to know that there are people who do it and can make it work. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would have done it if there wasn't like you know, my girlfriend getting into a school where it was like, well, we kind of got to go now.
Yeah. So it was kind of just the thing that tipped it over. Was California like
Yeah,
ever on your bucket list to like work at soon, or was it more just like chance?
definitely. I mean, I definitely wanted to move out to California. I just figured it was more of a, I don't know, like not late in my career thing, but like, I'll get my feet under me. Like,
Yeah.
maybe when because I just turned 24. So I was like, maybe when I turn like 30 or I'm in my early 30s, like I could
Mm.
move out there where I'm already established. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is definitely a lot sooner than I thought, which is fine by me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds like there wouldn't have been a better place because, like, whenever I tell myself, like, I'll do it in a couple years, that's it really
Hmm.
is basically just me saying, I'm not going to do it. Like,
Yeah.
even with something as simple as like laundry, I'm like, I'll do laundry
Yes.
in a
Oh,
couple
yeah.
hours. And then I'm like, no,
Oh,
I
yeah.
should just,
Tomorrow I'll do
yeah,
laundry.
I just need to do it right now. This is the only time that
Yes.
exists.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Tell you what, you just need to get a partner that gets a job or gets into school out
Yeah.
there and forces
Yeah.
you to go.
You should have a very specific scenario.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. But
Yeah.
that's pretty much all of my questions. So yeah, I guess I'll reintroduce you. This is Jonah. He's our sound designer here at Synchrosoft. We're working on the game Car Goes to Hell. Go follow us.
Yes. Yes. Follow us everywhere.
Yes, everywhere. All platforms.